In today's lecture, we will discuss another important object-oriented programming concept, that is interface. What is an interface? An interface is a special type of Java class, but it actually has a behavior rather. It represents a behavior rather than an object like classes. So in an interface, multiple classes can implement an interface. For example, a behavior of move could be depicted in an interface because a car moves, a bug moves, and you have wind moves. Different type of things move, but each have a different behavior of moving. So if you implement an interface of move into a class, that gives us a special behavior. For example, we also have an interface where we can say eat. So different thing eats differently. We can also say that fire eats wood, but eating is different for different type of objects. So interfaces represent not the objects but the behavior. So how do we represent interfaces in Java? Let's take a look. This is an example of an interface in Java. See how it is written. It's written with public interface rather than class. I'm using the keyword interface, and this interface about eat interface. This is an eat interface, and it will reflect the eat behavior. I just made kind of like a mock design. In here I have void eat slow, number of bytes that you're going to eat, and void eat fast, and it has the number of bytes as well. Now every method in an interface is abstract public, and so it's an abstract method. And what is the property of an abstract method? It does not have a body. Right after the method signature you must have the semicolon, right? And although I did not put the public in here, but that is a public void abstract method. All the if I use, although we are not allowed to use, but if you use, I'm not saying not allowed, I'm sorry. Although we can use variables in interface, but those variables are constant final. So use use interface variable to depict the final variable that you might want to use. But here I'm only using the method in this example. I have two methods. So as I have said, interface methods are public void abstract methods. Since this is a requirement, we don't put the public and abstract keyword in there as we would put in an abstract class. So this method is by default a public method. This method is by default an abstract method because it is a method of an interface. Methods in interface cannot have any cannot have any body. They can have any return type. It could be an integer eat slow, integer eat fast, or integer how many bytes. It can return anything. It can take any arguments, number of arguments. In this example is just a void method, but of course that's not a required thing. You can have any type of return value that you might want to put in there. You don't need to put the abstract keyword because it's by default an abstract method, and you don't have to put a public keyword because it's by default the public method. All methods in an interface are public and abstract. Now if I show you another interface, I have another interface which I'm calling move interface, and again the same properties apply on this one. I have the interface keyword in here, and I have this behavior that has move horizontal, how many feet, move vertical, how many feet that we want to do. Again, it is an abstract and it's no error in there. Now how do we implement an interface? Let's check this out. This is my class cat. It could extend any other class. I just did not do it, and it implements. You can see that it's implementing the move interface and the eat interface with a comma in between. So you can have multiple implementations or multiple interfaces implemented in a Java class. It is allowed. And as opposed to when we have a class, it can only extend one class. In one class in Java can only extend one class, but one class in Java can implement as many interfaces as it wants. The requirement is, as it implements the interfaces, it is bringing in the methods from the interface. As these methods are abstract, a class has to implement all the methods that are defined in the interface and provide the body for them. So here, if you look at that, I have these two methods, and if you remember, they are coming from the eat interface. If I go to the eat interface, it has eat slow and eat fast method. And if I go back to Java class, since it's as it is implementing the eat interface, it has to provide the body of these methods. The implementation of cat class for these methods is pretty simple. It says if it is going to eat slow, then each byte it is multiplied. I'm just making it up. It takes 3 bytes to eat, and then we print it out that done eating in that many seconds. If you are eating fast, it kind of eat 1 byte in 1/3 of a second, and it's fast. Now you see these two methods, and these two methods are coming from the move interface, move horizontal and move vertical. And if I go back to my class, you can see that if you give a number of feet, we will say that cat is walking that many feet. And if we say move vertical, we will say cat is jumping that many feet. Okay. So we have implemented both. Now, can we add more methods? Definitely, we can have. For example, I can have a string name, and I can have a getter and setter method for it. So I can have as many methods as I want, but if I implement an interface or 2 interfaces or 7 interfaces, as many as I do, I want to make sure that each method in each interface gets a body. So let's say I take out this eat slow method, right? Now I am having a problem here. As you can see, it is saying that does not override the method eat slow in each interface. So it's going to fuss on me because I did not include that method. So the requirement is, if you implement a method, if you implement an interface, make sure you provide body for each of its method. And as many interfaces you provide, as many methods you have to have, right? And you have to provide body for each of them, because when you implement that, you get the methods, but they are abstract methods. And one thing, let's see, I say that let's take the keyword out, public. Now it is an issue in here because, and then what is the issue? Let's check that out. Eat slow in cat cannot implement eat slow in interface. Why? Because I am making it weaker access privilege. Because in eat interface, the method was by default public. If I do not provide any, if I do not provide the public in there, it becomes the default protected type method. That means it's only accessible to the classes in the package. It is not publicly available. While in an interface, the method must be public. So if I bring that back in, so we have to make sure that although when we look at the interface, the public keyword might not be here, and but when we implement that, make sure when you provide the body, you have to put the public in front of the method signature, because in interface we don't need to do that. Now let's see how do we use that. I made a class called test, and in this class, let me check that out. And I want to use my cat, and I say cat, the cat is equal to new cat. And let's check that out, how many methods are available for me from the cat interface. I have the name method, the eat fast method, eat slow method, and then I have move horizontal, move vertical, and the get name method. Rest of the method that are kind of like lighter color method, these are coming from the object class, which is the parent class of any class in Java. So by default, it is my class is extending that. But you can see all of these methods are available, right? Now let's see, if I do this, I say eat interface, and that's really cat1 is equal to new cat. Now what does that mean? I am, and see what methods are available to cat1 now. Cat1 only have the eat fast method an eat slow method. It does not have the get name method. So if I go in here again, let me bring that up, cat1 dot, and it only has the methods that were in eat interface. Why? Because here what you say is I want the methods and the behavior that is defined in eat interface. Now an interface can promise the signature. That's how we do it. Whenever we provide a type, we are only promising the behavior. Now how the behavior will be implemented, that will come from the object. So the only behavior we have promised is eat slow and eat fast, and the body of that will be coming from cat. Now you will say the cat object has other methods. Definitely, but since the reference of cat1 is eat interface, those are the only methods that are available in cat1, because that's what the type of cat1. Now if I put the move interface, and I make cat2, which is also created using the cat object or cat class, sorry. So this is an object of type move interface. What does that mean is, what are the methods that are available to me now? I have the move horizontal and move vertical methods. So only the methods that I can promise in move interface are available. So we can say that interfaces can be used as the object type. Now let's see, can I use an interface to create an object? And let's say I will call it move interface, right, is equal to now this side of class assignment or object assignment or object declaration must provide the body, must provide the actual actions. Are there any actual actions in move interface? No. This side is okay because this side only promise the actions, but this side has to deliver the instructions. So we cannot use an interface to create object, but we can use an interface to declare the type, because by declaring the type, the only thing we are showing or we are promising are the methods. So here are a few of the points that I would like you all to remember. So we can take that out. This is not possible. So here are a few points. Let's go over it a little bit. So let's kind of review what we have learned. About interfaces. First thing is that all methods in an interface are public and abstract by default. That is why we do not, we need to say we do not need to use the keywords public and abstract keywords in the method signatures, because that's by default they are that, so we don't need to put those in there. An interface can be used as a type of an object, because a type only declares what method signatures are there to be implemented. But an interface cannot be used to create objects, because to create an object you need to have a behavior, which interfaces do not have. A Java class can implement multiple interfaces using the keyword, and each interface would be separated by a comma. But if a Java class implement one or more interfaces, make sure that it override all of the method in all of the interfaces that it has implemented. If it does not, then it must be declared abstract, because its functionality is not fully defined, because it has not overridden all of the methods. That's all. Please like and subscribe to the channel and provide me insight or input on what type of topics would you like me to cover, and I would like to prepare lectures according to your request. Thank you.